Me being a medical professional, I would say that this particular equipment can be specifically used in training the physically disabled. How does this help in training a physically disabled? It gives you a direct feedback. When you strike a chord, you hear something. So as a rehabilitation, say for example, you have to rehabilitate somebody's hand. Instead of directly giving some exercises to them, you can involve themselves in an activity which evokes their interest. So instead of exercising your hand, you can ask them to play a very simple note where their mind is also involved in it, and it's of course innovative to think about also. So as a direct feedback measure, this instrument can be used even in the medical field. Currently we use other feedback measures, say for example a touch and a light, where you touch and the more intense you touch, the more brighter the bulb glows. So that's how they increase the strength in a disabled person. That's a kind of a feedback mechanism. So similarly, for other disabled people also, because of trauma or any other medical reasons, as a source of feedback and as a source of involving your mind into it, this equipment can definitely be a revolution in the medical field also.
Also, having spent a few minutes on this instrument, and I enjoy music like any other person, I just believe that this would make it easier to learn music. It sort of uses the same principles, but it just seems easier than most other instruments.
One more thing I like about this instrument was that it has no physical keys. You're basically moving your hands in the air and you're playing stuff. It's really cool. And you don't need any previous information or knowledge or any other experience in the musical background to play this instrument. You can just like come over here, practice a bit and start playing it. In fact, I and Amogha were working with a visually challenged student named Pawan, and we tried to teach him Jana Gana Mana, which is our national anthem, and he picked it up in almost a week. So it's quite a great feat.
My name is Pawan. I am 10th taragati ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಲೇಸರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ನುಡಿಸೋಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ನನಗೆ. ಕಲಿಯೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನಿಸಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ನಾನು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಆಂಥಮ್ ನುಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Around the potential that it has for folks who cannot see, for them to be able to play with multiple different instruments and pick that up very quickly.
To me, in my mind, that's a huge potential of this particular creation of yours.
Professional musicians, they have a season of off season where they still have to maintain the same musical skills but not practicing the same musical instrument which they continue to practice. That's a kind of a rest given for their body to recover from them and hence improve their proficiency into music. So for those musicians during an off season time, say for an example, if a pianist, he involves in an activity which maintains his piano skills but not playing piano. So he may play an accordion or a harmonium which still maintains his musical skills but doesn't put his hands and shoulders into the same usage of that of a piano. So similar kind of musicians who involve themselves in guitar or harp or any string instrument, as an off-season practice for them, they can involve in this, playing this musical instrument called the laser harp or the future harmony. They can involve themselves playing this as an off-season practice.
Besides of course the potential, and besides of course what it will do and what it will evolve into, I think the fact that it's been created by somebody who is, who in my mind is fairly young, to me that's brilliant. I mean it's just outstanding.
Amazing how he's got all these different fields of electronics together into one single instrument, and it really showcases his imagination and innovation.